I'm gonna have to go get it.
Yeah, my husband got it too, and after seeing Betty, he said, oh, we gosh, I got it.
Well, how are y'all feeling today?
No shingles.
No shingles. All right, we don't have any shingles. That's good. All right, well then let's sit cross-legged. Let's close our eyes and breathe for a moment. Hopefully you've had a relaxing weekend. So with each exhale, just trying to relax through the shoulders, let them sink down a little heavier. You can drop your chin to your chest. Lift that head toward the ceiling. Once again, dropping your chin to your chest. And lift that chin up toward the ceiling. Turn your head to neutral. Let's walk those fingertips forward. Just fold over. Give it a few breaths. Let those shoulders relax. Let's leave one hand where it is and just take the other hand, stack it on top. Do kind of a twist and lean to the side. Then repeating on the other side, stack those hands, twist and lean. We're going to go ahead and walk those fingers back. You can sit up nice and tall. And we're going to tip the ears shoulder to shoulder. Okay, big breath in. We're going to stretch those hands up overhead. Breathing in, we're going to exhale, settle a hand down and lean off to the side. Hold. Just kind of twisting that chest to the front a little bit. Not the yawns. Then again, we're going to inhale, stretch those hands up overhead. Holding for an extra breath, you can breathe out. One more time, breathing in. I'm going to exhale, drop the other hand to the opposite side and hold. Again, I'm going to inhale, bring those hands up again. Breathing in. This time as you exhale, we're gonna settle the hands down and go into a slight twist. You can turn your chest and your chin. One more time, breathing in, send those hands up overhead. And then on the exhale, we'll rotate to the side. You'll plant those hands down and go into a little twist. Turn the chin and the chest. Good. All right, let's return to the front. Let's get off of our bottoms. Let's go on to hands and knees for a sec here. Going through cat and cow. So we're going to plant those hands underneath the shoulders, knees under our hips. Big breath in. We're going to lift the forehead and the tailbone. Take a couple of breaths. Big breath in. We'll exhale, curve through the spine, push away from the floor. Again, inhale, lift your forehead and your tailbone, pull those shoulders back. Big breath in, and we'll exhale. Round the spine, lower your forehead and your tailbone. All right, so we're going to return to neutral. If you can, we're going to curl the toes under. If you can't do that, then you can just leave your feet flat. Curl the toes under and just settle the hips back, taking a few breaths while we're here. So not like a full extended child's pose, we're just stretching through the feet and the shoulders. More like a downward puppy. Couple of breaths. And then moving forward, we're going to bring the hips forward, walk the hands out a little bit, and just allow the hips to sag. So it doesn't have to be a really big arch. Just opening up through the front side of the body. Take 3 deep breaths. After that third exhale, we're going to send it back again. So moving those hips to the rear, opening up through the chest and shoulders. And once again, moving it forward, same thing, sinking those hips down, opening up through the chest, take 3 deep breaths. All right, so for a second here, we're gonna go up into downward facing dog. So we did a whole bunch of toe stretching. Let's go ahead and come up onto the balls of the feet. Try to sink those heels back, lift your hips, and take a few breaths. Two more deep breaths. Very good. You can sink the knees down. Go ahead and sit on back onto your bottom. Take your time. We're going to send a leg out in front and keep one leg over here in a figure four. So first thing, just sitting up nice and tall. And very gradually moving that chest and belly forward. So we're trying to reach over that extended leg. And if you're able to hold yourself up without a lot of strain on the front of your hip, then you can just stretch your hands out in front of you. Two more breaths. Bring the body on. Now take your time. If you want to stay here longer, you can. We're going to keep our legs the same. One hand behind, other hand on top of the thigh, and go into a twist. When you're ready, we're going to return it forward. And let's go ahead and swap out those feet. One leg out nice and straight. Other leg over here in a figure four. And we're just working on sitting up tall first. So we're trying to make sure that you can sit in this position without a lot of strain in your hip flexor. And if it is straining, try to just lean back a little bit and relax. Feel like you're sinking the base of your butt into the floor. And kind of rolling your belly button forward so we get into a deep stretch without too much strain. If this is comfortable, you can start to lean yourself forward a bit, keeping those hands behind you if you need it. And then stretching the hands out if you don't feel any strain in front of that hip. Two more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale, come on up away from that leg. And same thing, one hand goes down on the mat, other hand on top of the thigh, and we're going into a twist. Two more big breaths here. Good. You can bring it on forward when you're ready. We're going to go back onto our hands and knees for a sec, going into extended child's pose. So take your time getting there. We're going to have our big toes together, knees spread out nice and wide. And we're extending and opening up through the shoulders. So settling that forehead and your chest down toward the mat. Last 2 breaths. And we're gonna come forward, up out of that shape. Let's bring a knee in. Other leg is gonna come out in front of us. We're just gonna sink into a passive hip flexor stretch. So both hands down. We're sinking that back hip, allowing the front knee to butt up against the outside of your shoulder. Trying to keep those shoulders down from the ears, so try not to make it a lot of tension in your neck. Pull those shoulders down so that your chest and your arms are supporting your weight. And eyes are looking at the front part of your mat, so not way out in front of you, just right there underneath where your eyes are. Little lift through the chest. Give it one more big breath in. Exhale, we're going to send the weight back. So just walk your weight back. Keep your feet right where they are. We're going to stretch over that extended leg. So a little extra hamstring stretch. You can keep that knee slightly bent. Two more breaths in and out. Now from here, we're gonna take our back leg and try to turn that foot in. So just take that leg, turn it in, very good. Okay, now from here, we're gonna scooch this front leg around. We're sending our other hand back behind our back leg. So now we're making a straight line from our front foot, past our knee, to our back hand. We're gonna press the hips forward and reach on over. So doing the gate pose here. So you're reaching over the arm that's on the ground, reaching away from that extended leg. So you could think that we're making kind of a straight line from our straight leg up past our hip, all the way to our hand. Three more breaths. Maybe you'll take your time. We're going to lower that hand down. You can settle down for a sec on the mat. Give yourself a couple of breaths. Make sure your wrists are all right. And then we're going to meet with the opposite leg forward in just a moment. So once you're ready, we're going to be switching those feet. Other leg's going to go toward the back. We're settling those hands down on the mat, on the inside of your front foot, and you're trying to butt your knee to the outside of your shoulder. So we're sinking through the hips. Remember, eyes are just gazing right in front of you. That way your neck is in neutral. Two more breaths. You want to stay here a moment longer, you can, and then when you're ready, we're going to send the weight back over that back leg. We're reaching the hands around our front leg. Still a little bit of a knee bend here. And give this one a few breaths. Last 2 breaths. And from here, we're going to repeat what we did on the other side. So you can pull your weight off that front leg a little bit. Turn your back foot in. So curling that leg in underneath our hips. Like teaching you how to break dance almost. There we go. We're going to move that front foot over. So we're in a straight line from our foot to our knee. Other hand is going to go down on the mat. So now we've made that straight line with 3 points. Let's press those hips forward. So press that top hip forward. And then we're reaching over with that back arm. So you're trying to make sort of a straight line from your back foot to your hip, your shoulder, and the tip of your fingers. A few more deep breaths, keeping those shoulders down from the ears. Okay, then when you're ready to close this one out, we're going to go ahead and pull that arm in. You can settle those hips down. Give yourself a second to kind of catch your bearings if you need to. Then we're going to lay down on the mat on our back. So kind of get off those wrists. We've done a whole bunch of facing down stuff today. You can settle your feet down to the mat. So keep those knees bent. Make sure your spine is spread out nice and tall. We're going to rock the knees side to side. Okay, and then we're going to bring the feet a little bit closer than we normally would. So bring those heels in as close to your butt as you can. And you're going to stretch your hands down, trying to come in contact with your heels or your ankles. If you can just touch your heels with your fingertips, that's fine, or get close to it. Or if you can even grab your ankles, that's good. We're going to take a big breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to pick your hips up as high as you can and get a stretch through the front of your hips. So a couple breaths. Good. You can go ahead and lower those hips down. Now from here, you can send the legs out nice and long if you'd like, or you can roll over onto your belly. We're going to rest out these last few minutes. So go ahead and close your eyes. Got one more minute to rest here. Whenever you're done for today, you can sit on up. All right, how's everybody feeling?
I am anyway.
It's all that matters. Action.
That was rough.